Okay, and we'll share the link afterwards. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. My name is Annie Lindy Kugel. I use she, her pronouns, and I run the Community Services Network. And I'm honored to be here today to share, to have many presenters share on our bill discount, utility discount programming in the Portland metro area. So this is a program that, or the presentation today that is super important because many of us work with community who have the ability to tap into some of these resources. So as always, education is the cornerstone of the work that we try to do here at the CSN. And so having these amazing speakers speak on their programs is an honor and a privilege. So thank you so much for being here. And without further ado, I will go ahead and have Kenny Scott from the Water Bureau go ahead and kick us off this morning.
Thanks, Annie. How's everybody doing? My name is Kenny Scott. I am the program manager here for financial assistance at the Portland Water Bureau. Nice to meet everyone. I'm new to this role. I've been here for about a month and a half, give or take. My background actually is in social work. So I've worked with a lot of your community organizations before. Prior to my work here, I was site manager for Reynolds High School out at for Self Enhancement Incorporated. I worked for Self Enhancement for about 6 years in fundraising and in program development. Super excited to work with the Water Bureau and represent the utilities and just have some understanding of the work that you guys do all out with the community. So I do want to let you know my door is always open, proverbial door. You can always email me if you have an event coming up that you want some support from the Water Bureau on. And I'm always happy to come in and talk to your organizations about the programs that we do offer. I'm going to pull up a little slide, nothing crazy. Again, I've only been here for a week and a half, but I can give you some, or a month and a half, but I can give you an overview of what our program is. And hopefully you've had a chance to use it before. Here. I'm going to share the screen. All right. So what our program is, we do offer assistance to our customers on a quarterly basis as it stands. We bill quarterly. So if they do qualify for the program, there's two different tiers that we actually represent. And so what that is a tier 1 discount. You're going to get a certain amount off of your bill, and then there's a tier 2 where you get a larger discount off of your water bill. With that, if you do qualify for the program, you also qualify for a $500 crisis voucher. And you can take advantage of that every 12 months. And that goes toward your water bill. The biggest thing that we want to make sure that we're telling customers is if they do qualify for this program, a part of staying on the program is they do need to maintain their current good standing balance with the Water Bureau. That doesn't mean necessarily that they have to pay their bill every single month, but it is, or every 3 months. But it is really detrimental that we have good communication with the customers, that they call, let us know, especially here in financial assistance. Let us know what's going on with their financial standing. We can find ways to do payment arrangements, that sort of thing to make sure that they can stay current on their bill. One of the things that we do want to make sure that our customers understand is we look at water as it is a wraparound service. We understand that water is needed for every aspect of life, and we do not want people to be without their water. One of the programs that is expiring, unfortunately, is our LIWA program, and that's a federally funded program. It's our low-income housing water assistance program. That program, as of right now, we've paid about $1.5 million worth of folks' water bills, but it is about 95% used, unfortunately. So we're going to be looking for some other avenues of funding hopefully that comes from the government. As it stands right now, we don't have any that's been promised. So that's going to be a big blow when this expires here, probably in the next month. But we're going to try to be as creative as possible to make sure that people can maintain their water. And also another big piece of how we're going to be trying to help customers is working with folks in the community. So different nonprofit organizations, faith-based organizations, making sure that we're able to meet customers where they are as far as what do they need from us? How do we get to them and let them know that we are here to make sure that they're able to receive the services that are so needed. So it's going to be really important to have partnerships with you all, just to make sure that we are able to, know what the customer needs before, we're in a position where the water may be shut off or the bill is so high that it's going to be tough to get it paid down and that sort of thing. There's a few ways for you to apply with us, but the best way is going to be through our website. It's the fastest. There is some income documentation that we do have to have, and so it's the easiest way for that information to be conveyed to us. So we always encourage folks to apply here. Also, another part, and I have Penny Milton on the call with us today, who is a part of our leak assistance program. This is another big part of what we do as far as making sure that a customer knows when they may have a leak in their home that's causing their water bill to be very high. They may only be using it for one person, but their bill shows that 4 or 5 people are in the home consuming water, and that may not be true. So a big part of what we do is try to make sure to educate customers on efficiency in their home. And Penny, did you want to jump in?
I can jump in. Thanks, Kenny. I'm
No
Penny
problem.
Milton with Portland Water Bureau. And so just wanted to mention, if customers qualify for the program that Kenny just talked about, the bill discount program, we have a free leak repair program that they also qualify for if they are homeowners. So like Kenny just talked about, if somebody has really high water use, it's unexplained, we can send a plumber out there if they're enrolled in the bill discount program, they own their home, and it is assumed to be a freshwater leak, not like a sewer leak. We prioritize based on the biggest leaks. So we start with the highest water users first, or people that don't have access to water because of a leak, or if it's like impacting their health. But yeah, it's open to anyone that qualifies, and just let me know if you have any questions about that. I will drop the link in the chat for the page as well. And yeah, we offer additional services. So if somebody qualifies for Kenny, the program Kenny talked about, then they also would get like an enhanced toilet rebate, and they get enrolled in some other like cool support services with the water efficiency team. So we try to like wrap around help once they're enrolled in that program. So it's really key to get folks there. I see a few questions in the chat. Let me see. Are the services available to renters? So Kenny's program, the financial assistance program, yes, if they're the account holder, yes, they can be enrolled in that program. For the leak repair program, it's just homeowners. And Kenny, you could speak more to that.
Yeah, so the program that's available to renters, like Penny was saying, it's to single family homeowners. There is a program that the city council has passed, RAMP, that there's going to be some more information coming out, and that's going to be for multi-family dwellings. I don't have too much information on that right now because they're still going through the qualifications, how that's going to work. But there will be some information coming forward on that, which hopefully we can pass some savings on to folks who do live in multifamily dwellings. And then Annie, that's a great question. What qualifies as a crisis? Right now, it's a financial crisis, and they're looking at it on a case-by-case basis. But we are going to be looking at some things to really see how can we make that more realistic, because everyone may face a crisis that's financial, and how do you justify that if you're in crisis for a month or for the last month? How do you justify that for the past year? I mean, what's the difference, right? So we are going to be doing some looking at that to to make that more equitable and fair to everyone as far as defining what a crisis is. And Cecilia, thank you. They need to, customers do need to re-enroll every 2 years. So if they're approved, they get on the program for 24 months. We do reassess after the 24 months and have them refill out an application, put in more income information. And then from there, they will be determined if they can keep the discount. And this is for Multnomah County, but there are sewer, well, I don't know, Penny, does our sewer discount go outside of Multnomah County?
So they have to be within the Portland Water Bureau service area, which I believe is all Multnomah County, but not all Multnomah County will be within the water service area, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they just have to be water or sewer customers. So they can just be on the bill discount program. If they're sewer only customers, it'll be, their discount would be different because it's just discounting that sewer portion. On the water leak repair side, the program I was talking about, they can't get those services if they're sewer only customers because they have to have a water account with us for us to fix the water leak. And if you ever have questions about who's a Portland Water Bureau customer, I'm going to put another link in the chat that's to the Regional Water Providers Consortium lookup tool, and you can put in any address in our area and it'll pull up who the water providers are, because Rockwood is in there, and Rockwood is tricky because it's a Portland address, but it's a Rockwood water customer potentially. So anyway, or just reach out to Kenny or I. We'll put our contact info in there too. Always happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. And definitely afterwards, I will put, I'll add both of your contacts to the follow-up as well as any information you want to share. So you'll be able to reach out directly to them afterwards. And just to keep us on track here so that we make sure we can get all of our presenters in. Thank you both, Kenny and Penny. Appreciate both of you, and we look forward to our next presenter, Saul Chavez from PGE. Thanks all for being here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Saul Chavez with Portland General Electric. So I'm going to talk about two different programs that we have going on that I think could be of interest to your clients or the communities you work with. One of them is going to be our income qualified bill discount program, and I'll also talk about our medical certificate program. So starting off with the income qualified bill discount program, in April of last year, 2022, PGE implemented a bill discount program, which gives our customers a 15, 20, or 25% discount on their monthly energy charges, and it's based on their household size and income. The program is good for 2 years, after which we would reach out to them and ask them to re-enroll. Income limits are 60% of the state median income, which is the same income limits that are used by energy assistance agencies for LIHEAP and OEAP programs. So another thing that we've done is partner with the Oregon Department of Housing and Community Services so that anyone in our service territory who receives LIHEAP or OEAP will automatically be enrolled into that discount program. We then reach out to them and let them know, hey, you've been enrolled. Here's your percentage of discount that you're going to be receiving going forward on every one of your bills. So some of our customers might be enrolled and maybe didn't open the letter that let them know, so they might not be aware, but there's a lot of our customers that are already receiving this discount through this partnership with OHCS. Enrollment can also be done online or via the phone. We do offer our form online in 15 different languages. I'll drop in the chat our link. It's portlandgeneral.com/bill discount. That's our little web page where you can go and you can have our customer enroll themselves. And we also offer a third-party enrollment option. So if you're working with one of your clients or someone out in the community and you'd like to help them enroll, you can go on there. You can go to that online application page, and it will give you the option if you're enrolling someone else. And then it asks you for your information, just so we can reach out to you if you have any questions, and then some information about the customer. You can read through and kind of see what we need from them. We do not require proof of income to enroll. So we don't require paycheck stubs, W-2s, anything like that. What we do ask is that the customer know how much their yearly gross income is and how many people live in their household. So we just take that information over the phone, and with that, we're able to enroll them into the program, and they'll be receiving the appropriate discount based on our guidelines. And we've been going out to different resource fairs in our service territory to try to talk about the program, bring more awareness about it. And we've also been enrolling a lot of customers on the spot. So if your organization or anyone that you're working with is running some sort of resource fair, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know if you'd be interested in having us come out and possibly, have a table there, be able to talk about the program, or possibly even enroll customers who aren't already enrolled on the spot. Right now, we have a little over 60,000 customers enrolled in the program, and we're looking forward to bringing on a lot more, hopefully very soon. And then in regard to the medical certificate program. So the medical certificate program is a program for customers with medical equipment at home that requires electricity. And what it does is that it helps us be aware of who may need extra support during a planned outage, such as a public safety power shutoff or a larger unplanned outage that is due to, severe weather or a storm or something going on. Usually what we'll do is during or previous to a public safety power shutoff, we will reach out to customers on the medical certificate program for up to 48 hours in advance to let them know that this is going to possibly happen, so that they can be aware and that they can enact their backup plans. We then reach out to them again with more security up to 4 hours in advance, letting them know that it's pretty much going to happen. They need to take action and make sure that they're following through with their backup plans. And then during one of these events, we'll contact them every 24 hours to see how they're doing. A quick story of how this kind of works. I believe back in February, we had a bit of a snowstorm, and out in western Washington County, where we have some of our customers that live in a very rural area, one of our customers on the medical certificate program, they're on oxygen. And they let us, they've been part of the program for a while, so we know that they have an oxygen concentrator at home, but their power had been out for like 2 days. We've been trying to reach them. We couldn't get a hold of them. We've been trying to call them like every 4 hours. We got really concerned, so we ended up reaching out to Washington County Non-Emergency, and they had a sheriff's deputy go out to their property to see if they were okay. And they were able to verify that they were fine. They had just disconnected most everything from their power so that they could, make sure that their generator was only powering the most essential items. And, because we knew that they needed that extra support, we were able to have someone go out and follow up and check in on them. And then, we made sure that one of our crews was actually on their way out there to be able to restore their power. But if we wouldn't have known, we wouldn't have been able to follow up and give them that extra support. So we really want customers that have medical equipment at home to reach out to us, let us know that they have that so that we can be aware of it and we can provide that extra support during those events. To be able to enroll a customer, all they have to do is call our main number. I'll drop that number in the chat as well. Chat. I just dropped that in there, the 503-228-6322. They just call that number. They let us know that they have medical equipment at home, want to enroll in the medical certificate program. And what we'll do is we'll just do a verbal application over the phone, and they'll be enrolled for 60 days. And then during those 60 days, we ask them to have a medical professional fill out the enrollment form. And we can send that form directly out to their doctor. We can send it to the customer to have them take it to the doctor. We can be flexible with that and try to make sure that we do whatever works for them. And then once we get that document back, the customer is enrolled for a full year. And again, we do offer that extra support. One thing that the medical certificate program does not do is prevent disconnection, but we do take extra steps to work with the customer because we know that medical equipment is at home. We want to make sure that we contact them, that we've had conversations with them, that we've looked at every single option, and that we've been as flexible as possible so that we can make sure that they have what they need at home and they're not put in any danger. So those are the two programs I wanted to talk about. I think Annie's going to send out a little PDF document that we have about the income qualified bill discount program afterwards as well. But all of the information is what is on our website that I put in the link. So please feel free to use that. Again, the online application is there as well. And for the medical certificate program, just have customers give us a call, mention the medical equipment, and we'll work with them from there. And that's what I got.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sal. I appreciate it. And would you mind or feel comfortable putting your email in the chat just in case folks have questions? That would be great. Thank you. Awesome. And I did not know about the medical certificate program. So that is, and we definitely have power outages. So great program to know about. Thank you so much for all you do. So
yeah, thank you. I'm going to hop off the meeting, but please feel free to reach out if you have questions.
okay. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Next up, we have Cheng Seichao from Comcast. Thank you so much, Cheng, for being here. And as all, Comcast is one of those different utility providers in the sense that, but we all, technically many of us need or want to have internet. So Cheng, I'll let you take that away.
Thank you, Annie. I will warn you all. Good morning, by the way. If I zoom out of frame, it's because I'm trying to reignite the lighting. It's on a sensor because we try to be efficient with energy. But Cheng Seichao from the Comcast team here locally based in our Tigard office. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm here to speak to you all about our low income internet program. It's called Internet Essentials from Xfinity. I think really relevant to what even Sol or Kenny were talking about is all these different assistance programs and how can people even learn about it, access it. Of course, there are those phone number lines that you can call and apply, which we're very grateful for. But if people these days are not connected to the internet, unfortunately, they tend to get left behind. So we're really proud of our internet program here. We've had it for more than a decade. We started it in 2011, and I'm actually going to share my screen right now because I've forgotten to do that here as I'm just chatting away. So let's go Zoom and screen 2. I believe you all should see a PDF briefing deck. Now my Zoom went away. Okay, there you go. Annie, can you confirm that you see it? No. Okay.
Nope, we don't see it.
Screen 2.
Or I don't.
Okay,
There.
now I'm hitting the share button. There you go.
Yep, you got it.
Okay, so as I said, advancing digital equity has been a part of our focused efforts for more than a decade. Really proud to be part of this region in the Pacific Northwest, helping with that with community partners like you all with Internet Essentials. In a nutshell, really, we're trying to focus on helping the digital divide close with partners like you. Just an astounding statistic is the Pew Research had noticed that 92% of high income households who had internet connection make up a lot of the income here, and they're doing well, while only 50% of those have internet access that are low income. So there's a really big correlation there, and we're trying to partner with community-based organizations and leaders to help folks learn about how to gain internet access, especially at home, as that's important for a constant connection to really learn and open up their world to a world of unlimited possibilities, as we like to say here. So part of that is our Project Up. It's a $1 billion investment from the company overall. Really today we're focused on talking about the connectivity and adoption part with Internet Essentials and our different digital equity programs. This year alone in 2023, we're really proud to invest $280 million in our digital equity work and different programs that help support our communities just in the Pacific Northwest here. So Internet Essentials from Xfinity is our wraparound approach to addressing 3 barriers to internet adoption. First of all, providing a low-cost option. So there are a couple of speed tiers at 50 and 100 megabits per second up to that upload speed, hitting about the $10 to $30 mark. It includes in-home Wi-Fi, access to hotspots, and then really it's moving toward then providing an option for that low-cost computer, so you have the device to access the internet at all times that you need. And then we provide digital skills training, whether that's through partnering with local organizations or even through our partner portal, which we'll share more information about later. But we have, for instance, a digital skills booklet and different resources there that we've curated for folks to access. So that's a wraparound approach to try to get people to adopt the internet and help them really live more fulfilling and equitable opportunities to get them up to speed with everything else. So Internet Essentials, how you qualify is really mainly by, first of all, being in an Xfinity service area so that you can receive that program, but then also qualifying by low income assistance programs such as the National School Lunch Program or free reduced lunch. That even also means the community eligibility provision programs and different free reduced lunch programs like that, Medicaid, SNAP, and others, or folks are eligible or enrolled in the Affordable Connectivity Program. That's from the Federal Communications Commission, and that's up to a $30 credit, which I'll talk more about later. And then typically, when the program started, there were eligibility requirements such as not having had Xfinity internet within the last 90 days, and also not having outstanding debt with Xfinity or Comcast within the last year. Those 2 eligibility requirements, number 3 and 4, are actually paused right now. There's a waiver through the end of the year. And then particularly if you have the Affordable Connectivity Program, you bypass that too, and then you are eligible for Internet Essentials. And I'm looking at the chat here. I will address your questions, Fern and Penny and folks after the presentation, but thank you so much for putting those in. I'll be sure to do that. Excuse me. So the Affordable Connectivity Program, for those who might not be familiar, is a credit that the government provides to the Federal Communications Commission. They qualify folks similar to Internet Essentials by low income eligibility. So they run that program, and with Internet Essentials, it's really, they're providing up to a $30 credit and then up to $75 for tribal lands, but we're really within the urban area, so it's the $30 credit to where that pairs up and really able to provide customers a $0 monthly bill if they're eligible and approved for both of those. So we'll go into more detail about how folks can apply, but just that is the main difference. There's Internet Essentials and there's the Affordable Connectivity Program. And once we're paired together, that's really a great benefit for a $0 bill for folks too. So Xfinity customers are folks who are interested in applying for the Affordable Connectivity Program can do that a couple ways. If you're already one of our customers, you can go through our website, and then the federal government also has their own at getinternet.gov, and it'll walk folks through that program too. So really it covers all of this. And to say that Xfinity specifically for our internet bill, it applies toward that first. If someone happens to receive Xfinity mobile services with us, then if there's any credit left over, that'll apply to it too. And I apologize for all the text heavy slides. I'm just talking through them and we'll circulate this out too so you can see all these details, but just wanted to hit the high points for you also. There's a bit of time for questions, hopefully. There's a portion here on the right side that you'll see what services are not eligible for ACP. Hopefully that's rare for folks, but for instance, if you happen to be part of a multi-dwelling unit residential community that Xfinity Communities provides bulk internet service, you might not be eligible for it. That's the most, I think, relevant takeaway for this. In addition, if you're, for instance, a school or community organization partner that's part of the Internet Essentials Partnership Program, where you're providing or sponsoring that service for your clients or people you serve, then they would, again, not be eligible for ACP because you're covering that. So this kind of goes through all the requirements for the Affordable Connectivity Program and how folks qualified. I will say most of these on the right side, you'll see participation in federal assistance programs. Most of those pair up with how folks can qualify for internet essentials as well, such as Medicaid, supplemental security, income, and then federal public housing assistance. So a lot of things really pair up to where most folks, if they qualify for internet essentials, will also qualify for the Affordable Connectivity Program. But again, those are two separate application processes, and we do try to make it easy on our website. But we want to make that clear that hopefully, most folks get in with that. But there are two separate programs for it. And I mentioned earlier about the Internet Essentials Partnership Program. Just briefly, if any community members or community organization leaders, I should say, are interested in sponsoring clients or people you serve with covering this cost, we have a partnership program that we can talk about at another time. Annie will provide my contact information about that. But that's just something separate for folks that may not qualify for ACP, where you're still wanting to help them get down to a $0 cost bill. So once this deck circulates, you can kind of look into how to apply for Internet Essentials. But basically, you can do it through the phone on our specific call center that also has Spanish language options and more than 200 different language options if you request access for that. In addition, the online application is actually our fastest way. And it might sound contradictory, seeing as we're trying to reach people who don't have internet, right, to apply for that. But most people have cell phones, and our application is very mobile friendly. So folks can apply by xfinity.com/IE, or there's another URL there that you just drop in. And most folks can type in their address, and it'll kind of do a fuzzy search to see what picks up there. But if there are any questions or concerns, there is our call center there that folks can reach out to, and even a little chat option through the application process. And what's great about our online application is that it's available in 5 different languages translated too. So that's a way that we're trying to make it more accessible. And then when you call in and you need more accessibility help, you can make requests through that too. So all that to say is, once customers are approved and set up for service, there are different bill options too. That's often a question we get from our community partners. So whether it's online, by phone, mailing a check, or going into the Xfinity store for folks who are more comfortable with that, you can do that as well. So how can you help your community members learn about how to access internet affordability programs? We have our Internet Essentials Partnership Program or Internet Essentials Partnership Portal. That program's stuck in my mind now, where you all can go in and create a user account essentially, and then order free materials in, I think, 36 different languages, a variety of different options with graphics that might speak more to your demographics you're supporting, for instance, and even downloadable options. And I believe even this briefing deck might be on the partner portal, but just a variety of different resources at your disposal for free printed materials so that you can help folks learn about these programs as well. I think I'm going to stop there because I'm a bit over time, but this deck that we will circulate has a lot more details. And of course, you can reach out to me as well. Annie, do we have 1 minute for questions for anyone who wants to talk?
Let me just check and see. Don Evans, are you on with Oregon Shines? I don't hear Don. So go ahead, Chang. I think Don maybe isn't joining us today. So
Okay.
we do have just another minute. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to look through this chat and see, do you have all staff to go on site to help folks get devices hooked up to your services and how to use materials? Not necessarily, Fern. So Fern was asking if we have it sounds like a program to help people set up devices. What we do sometimes is where we partner with our community organizations to have sign up events, and we might bring devices there on site. So that's our opportunity. But really our Get Started kit is pretty self-explanatory. And if not, there are different resources that they can call or look online to help them get started with video descriptions and everything. And Penny's asking, do you data share with reciprocal programs to verify enrollment, or is it self-verification by the person? I will have to look into detail about that, Penny, about data sharing reciprocal programs. But really, my understanding is that the Affordable Connectivity Program, you really do apply for that separately. Like you'll go to the Universal Services Administrative Company program that does the ACP application. And what you would get is once you're approved, you get basically an application ID number, what they call the universal ID, and you give that to Xfinity or Comcast to then link to your account. But I will look into details to confirm that all. And I think, Annie, should I take care of these questions one-off later?
Yes, I think what we'll do is go ahead and wrap up. Awesome questions, and Cheng, super appreciate your program as well. And if you would like to leave your email in the chat, and then of course I will send out all this information afterwards.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. And if you want to go ahead and stop sharing your screen, that would be lovely. No problem. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to give Don one more chance. Don, are you on by chance? Okay. So unless Don shows up later, we will not hear from Oregon Shines today. So we will jump to Charity Spires with Pacific Power. Charity, are you on?
Yes, I
Awesome.
am. And then I'm
Awesome.
going to share my screen.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Okay, I think I'm not technologically savvy, so let me know if you see my screen.
Perfect.
Okay, great. So Charity Spires with Pacific Power. I manage low-income programs for the company, and I'm here this morning to share some information on our low-income discount LID program. So I want to say that this is kind of similar to the PGE's bill discount program, and I'll share some details about the program. So for the Pacific Power discount program, we have 2 tiers. There's a 20% discount and a 40% discount. And enrollment is every 2 years. After 2 years, you need to recertify. To the right, it is self-attestation, and it is based on 60% of state median income. And the eligibility and discount level is based on your household size and your annual gross income adjusted to your household size, I should say. And then just to the right, just a little snip of the table for 1 to 4 households, 60% state median income. And like PGA had mentioned, this is the income guideline is similar to the Energy Assistance Program, both LIHEAP and OEAP. On this third slide, these are ways to enroll. So the program launched October 1st of 2022. And so initially when we launched the program, we identified customers that were LIHEAP. And LIHEAP is Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. It's a federal energy assistance program. And then OEAP is Oregon Energy Assistance Program, which is only offered by PGE and Pacific Power. This is funded by, surcharge that is on all customer bills. And so customers that were participants of these 2 programs as of October 1st of 2021 were identified and were auto-enrolled into the 20% discount level. And then we sent them a letter giving them the opportunity to submit an application and attest their income to see if they could get a higher discount or get the 40% discount if they meet that guideline. And then another auto enrollment that we're doing is an ongoing auto enrollment. And so we continue on a monthly basis, identify those customers that are LIHEAP EAP recipients, and we're getting them enrolled. And just recently, we had a data sharing contract finalized and signed with OHCS. And so they are sending us the customers' income information. So that way now we are able to get them enrolled in the correct tier versus before where we're getting them on the 20% and then reaching out to notify them and kind of asking them to apply. So this way, these customers, we're auto enrolling them, but we're getting them to the right tier, whether it's 20% or 40% discount. And so that's the auto enrollment piece. And then there's the self enrollment, which is there's a web application, call through customer service, and a paper application. So on the middle section here, I've noted web application is offered in both English and Spanish. In fact, the Spanish application rolled out today, this morning. We tested it last night. And so it is available. And then the other enrollment is through customer service. You can call customer service and the agents will be able to submit an application for the customer client. And then there's those customers that prefer to fill out a form. And so we do have the paper application available. These copies are available both online on the English and Spanish web pages. And also maybe you can call customer service and request a copy to be mailed. So those are self-enrollment. And then the third-party enrollment, basically this would apply for web application. And this would be if a customer is unable to complete the form, but is maybe seeing at a community action agency applying for energy assistance, the agency would be able to complete the form for the customer and submit it. And then there's a field that asks for the organization's information, and that is optional. So with that, I wanted to segue to and show you our application. Hopefully that would kind of bring it. So first I wanted to show this is our English website, the information on the landing page first. And then there's the income information. Those are sources of income. What we're trying to add in here is how to calculate your income as another tool for customers to be able to use. So that's coming. And then down below is where you would click the apply now. And then there's a link to the application itself. We understand that customers may, Spanish speaking customer may have landed on this page. And if, they prefer to complete the application in Spanish, there is the application button for the Spanish application. And essentially, if you click on that, it'll take you to the Spanish webpage. Kind of the same thing. If you landed on the English and the Spanish and you prefer to fill out the form in English, then you'll have that opportunity. So it's kind of a circle. And then I wanted to click on the apply now. So this is what the application looks like. It does say what the different guidelines for the program and the sources of income. And I wanted to say this is public facing, so you don't need to register. You don't have to have a user ID or password. We wanted to make sure that we remove any barriers that would limit customers from enrolling. And so you basically ask for the first, customer's name. They do have to have their complete account number, which is found on their bill. And pretty much we ask, like household size income is required, bless you. And what is optional, and we try to capture these is, primary household language, and also what the family identify as, ethnicity or race. And this is just for us to track and make sure, as we're working on our marketing outreach, that we are reaching more of the, more communities. And at the bottom of the pages is what I wanted to show is that if the customer, if if it's not, if it's a third party that is completing this application for the customer, you would just click the Pacific Power employer third party, and then you will complete this declaration. So we know that if it's the applicant that filled out the form, or if it is a third party that is completing the application on behalf of the customer. And then again, the organization name is optional, but we'd like to capture that so that way we kind of know what organizations are out there and helping customers. So that way that can build our outreach list, and for us to be able to maybe utilize that list and reach out to the different organizations to see how else we can maybe enhance the marketing for the program. So that's really all the information that I have. Oh, I should have mentioned this, and Saul had mentioned this in their application. We also do in our application ask the customer if they require accessibility or for public safety power outage. If they check this box, we will automatically enroll them in what we call the public safety power outage contact list. So during an outage, they will be getting a phone call, or prior to a planned outage, they will be receiving a phone call to let them know. And then the second button down below is whether a customer has a medical, the customer or someone in the household has a medical need. If they say yes, then an application will be sent. They will be sent an email with the link, and then an application will be sent to where they can bring it to their professional medical provider to complete and send in. But initially, it will put a 30-day medical condition on their account. So kind of what I will also touch. So these are also offered, and it's all in one application. So hopefully it'll be, reducing the amount of work that a customer would have to do to get all the different available resources that we offer. So that is pretty much all I have. I do have my contact information on this slide, and I will share this with Annie, and also a copy of the paper application. If I have a minute, I will just show maybe a copy of the paper application that we have on the website, and anybody can print this out. It's a 2-pager. And this one does not offer the third party because we feel that, if it's a third party, it's somebody that's probably able to utilize those, the web. So this is if a customer is, requesting it and would like to be sent. I wanted to also note that at the bottom and in the application, we do, if the customer is in the program, basically they're giving us the permission to share their information with energy assistance agencies for energy assistance or weatherization. But if they would like to opt out of that, they have the option to opt out. And so we also provide that box for them to check if they do not want their information shared. And I'm not checking, let me check chat if there's any.
It doesn't look like any, I don't see any questions. Do you have any on your end, Charity?
For me, no questions.
No
Yeah.
No, okay.
I have one question, Annie.
Yep,
Annie, can I interrupt here for just a second? I'm wondering if those those snoring control things, the CPAPs, are they considered a medical device?
So that would be for the physician to determine. And so what would need to happen is the medical certificate would need to be completed by the physician. And then once that is completed and sent into our medical team, they will make that determination whether that would be on. Yeah, so I apologize. That is actually based on the direction of the medical professional or your doctor, physician. Any other questions?
All right.
I will stop sharing.
Wonderful. And I love those. I love that third party edition. And I'm both you and PGE with the medical edition. I think those are both super important. So thank you so much, Charity, for sharing. And of course, I will share your information afterwards as well. But if you would like to add your information to the chat here so folks can connect with you if they have any additional questions, that would be great. Thank you again for sharing time with us today. Okay, next up we have Carlos Banks from Energy Trust. And Carlos is a little bit different, not the low income program, but home repairs, efficiencies, weatherization, lots of things to do with, I think, renting as well as owning, correct? Is that correct, Carlos?
Yes, even though my focus is the residential sector, but yes, Energy Trust serves all of those areas. So
Okay.
I'll speak on that a little bit.
Perfect. Thanks so much for being here.
No problem. Thank you, Annie, for the intro. Yes, so as Annie mentioned, my name is Carlos Banks, and I am an outreach specialist working with Energy Trust of Oregon, and going to present today on some information regarding mainly on residential energy efficiency resources. But as I mentioned just a minute ago, Energy Trust of Oregon does serve all the other areas as well, commercial, industrial, multifamily as well. And I will pop into the chat some links as well and some information that will be helpful for folks to know about. Give me just a moment here, and I'm going to share my screen and pull up a PowerPoint presentation. So give me just a moment. Let's see here. All right, so hopefully everyone can see that first screen that's there. All right, and I'm just going to do this. And hopefully you can still see that screen. So I kind of went to a different screen on my page. Hopefully you're not seeing both of those. But anyway, so residential customers with Energy Trust of Oregon have many resources that are available. And a lot of these resources we can utilize to upgrade our homes in a way that's energy efficient. And what Energy Trust of Oregon has done is provide a lot of resources to the communities across the state of Oregon to help folks be able to access many of these resources that are available. What I'll do today is briefly discuss about Energy Trust of Oregon, who Energy Trust of Oregon really is, home energy usage, low-cost tips, ways we can help you, some incentives as well in financing, and then I'll end with thank you, and if there are any questions, we'll consider those as well. So just a little bit about Energy Trust of Oregon. Independent nonprofit providing access to affordable energy and serving 2.4 million customers of Pacific Power, Portland General Electric, Northwest Natural Gas, Northwest Natural, Cascade Natural Gas, and Avista as well. And the real focus is to generate homegrown renewable power, right? And to help us cut down on our energy usage as well as the costs that we incur by using energy. By doing such, we help build a stronger Oregon, and we also have a program in Southwest Washington as well that we utilize to work with various folks. In Southwest Washington, we are working in conjunction with the Northwest Natural customers in that area. As I mentioned before, services are for every type of customer. Residential is my focus. However, we do also work in commercial, industrial, agricultural, electric, and natural gas efficiency equals affordable energy. And so this really helps us do what we need to do in terms of providing energy efficiency resources. We've been doing this work here in Oregon since 2002. And just to touch on a few things that we've been able to invest in and accomplish over the years. Since 2002, we have invested $2.6 billion in utility customer funds, saving and generating many annual therms, 1,059 annual milliwatts, and saving 93 million annual therms. And a lot of these investments have been transformed over to 808,000 homes and businesses in Oregon and Washington. And that's on the residential, commercial, and industrial side where we've been able to accomplish those goals. This here just shows some kind of our service area in Oregon. As long as a person is a customer of PGE, Pacific Power, Northwest Natural, Cascade Natural Gas, or Visa, and we are able to provide them with incentives and services and resources around energy efficiency. And you'll see these shaded areas. Now, the areas where you don't see that they are shaded, it doesn't mean that people and businesses in the non-shaded sections on the map don't have access to energy efficiency or solar solutions, as they can be eligible for state incentives, like from Oregon Department of Energy, or energy efficiency programs from their consumer-owned utility working in conjunction with Bonneville Power Administration. So there's still some options even for the areas that are not shaded. In terms of our vision, we want to see clean, affordable energy for everyone. And we want everyone to really have access to these resources. And that is what we are striving to do. Our purpose is to help our customers and communities reduce the costs, realize the additional benefits by doing such, and it really can have a huge impact. One of the initial impacts that most customers and folks see is they're able to lower their utility bills. And that's one of the ways folks really link in and utilize some of our incentives and our resources. And by doing such, it helps us also to help folks use less energy, become more energy efficient within the homes that they're living in. And these savings and generation results keep utilities from having to build expensive new infrastructure or purchase additional power to meet a growing energy demand, while at the same time, we as the consumer or the customer, we're able to lower our costs, on an individual basis. Here are some ways in which we can help you. We provide energy efficient upgrades, renewable energy systems. Our services and incentives are available to renters, to homeowners, school and other public building managers, businesses, manufacturers, and agricultural producers as well. We provide information and technical services like walkthrough surveys, custom project analysis, and project verifications as well. So we also provide cash incentives and discounts, and these are a lot of the resources that we want to make sure we educate the community about, so they know that these exist. So as we're making some of these energy efficient upgrades, we can utilize the incentives that have been basically put out there for us to take advantage of. We also offer solar incentives, and solar is a huge market that many people are starting to jump into. This time of the year in Oregon, we're getting our sunshine that we love, and you can also think about solar on your home with energy trust incentives and Oregon rebates and federal tax credits. You potentially could offset up to 50% of solar system costs. We also have a program called Savings Within Reach, and through our Savings Within Reach program, we have a Solar Within Reach program that has increased incentives for income qualified households, and this can really help you access some of these energy efficient measures for the solar program without having to come out of pocket paying so much. Where it says Solar Trade Ally, our Trade Ally program basically consists of various contractors throughout the state who are connected with us, partner with us, and they basically are in our contractor network. They have received training as Trade Ally contractors, understand the incentive program, and also understand how to install and provide these measures for our customers on a way that's at a higher level than a customer or I'm sorry, a contractor that does not receive this training directly from Energy Trust of Oregon. So definitely want to tap into that. Also just want to mention about the IRA. Probably have heard about the Inflation Reduction Act. And through this act, there are many tax credits that can be taken advantage of. And yes, they can be combined with the Energy Trust offers cash incentives to help you save even more as you're making these upgrades to your home and to your area that you're trying to invest in, make more energy efficient. Home energy usage and low cost tips. Here you see this slide that focuses on 5 main categories of energy usage at home. And you have other is a category that accounts for 4%, water, heating, appliances, and then lighting. And each of them have their own percentage. But I want to highlight that heating and cooling at 41% basically takes up the majority of the energy usage generally in a home. And so we have various tips and resources do-it-yourself tips and resources that can help you look at some no-cost ways to improve the comfort, health, and energy efficiency of your home. And on this website here that we have at www.energytrust.org/residential/DIY, you can find and access these tips. And many of these tips may include installation upgrades, new windows, heating and cooling replacement, or water heater replacement. And it's recommended that you collect multiple bids to determine the right option for your project and budget. Ways that we can help you through Energy Trust of Oregon. We offer an online free home assessment. And on this slide here, we have a link here where you can basically access that online free assessment, and where we look at the home to a certain extent that we can see what it is that you may really need to upgrade within your home to make it more energy efficient and start saving. And you have the option of doing that and receiving a free thermostat when you do. A smart thermostat can also help regulate the amount of heating and cooling that we're using, and manage that better to help keep some of our costs down in association with that. We also help with low-income weatherization services, utility bill assistance. We have a number here you can contact, 1-866-368-7878. You can always contact us to ask a question and get some more information about home energy evaluation, home ventilation, LED light bulbs, attic floor or wall insulation. And at the bottom, we also have the information about the income qualified bill discount programs as well. And you can also contact Pacific Power for more of that, and I have some of those links on this slide. In terms of incentives and financing, just want to make sure people know what an incentive is. And this slide kind of gives you a good image of that. It really helps you save on what it is that you're doing. This is an example of an attic installation project, and you can see the total cost by the contractor, including the materials, et cetera. And then the discount with the incentive brings it down to where the customer cost comes down to $1,800. These are one of the ways in which we help many of our customers save while still being able to upgrade to energy efficient measures within their home. We have these incentives for heating and cooling measures, insulation, windows, as well as water heaters. And we also have a program called Savings Within Reach that I mentioned earlier. And one thing I want to highlight with this program, documentation verifying your income is not required. And we want to make sure people have access to this Savings Within Reach program. And again, just to emphasize, the free home online home assessment and free smart thermostat is a great deal. And we'd really love to see you take advantage of that. And I also am going to put some information in the chat in just a moment as well. Thank you for your time and listening to me. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen at this moment. And if there are any questions, we'll consider those.
Any questions for Carlos? I had one. Oh, looks like Kiva has one. Go ahead, Kiva.
I do have a question about Windows. You know how you see all those ads all over social media and Google about free Windows, and is that a real thing? Or do you know what the incentive looks like for replacing Windows?
Yes, I could send you some information on the incentive specifications for the Windows. I'll say this, that we do have there are definitely some incentives associated with Windows. It's not necessarily free, but it'll bring the cost down quite a bit to make it low cost. And also with some of our community resources that we've collaborated with some of our community partners, that also helps assist in that area of making sure the cost is not so much out of pocket on the individual or the person that wants to upgrade to energy efficient Windows. And I'll drop some information about some of those community resources in the chat as well. Thank you for that question. I just put some information also in the chat about help for renters and landlord provided cooling space initiative. And it's really a funding and resource that's designed to help areas or renters and units be able to have a cooling space for the people that are living in a multifamily area. And this is a good link here and a good way to access some of those resources. I see you had a question as well. I believe, is it Kiva? Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Any other questions for Carlos? I just had a quick one, Carlos. I was just trying to figure out how is the incentive calculated? Or is it?
Yes,
Go ahead.
the incentive for each item, the Energy Trust, they set the incentives kind of based on the information that they receive annually. And so what I can do is send you some information. I've got some information that really kind of breaks that down a little bit better as well and shows exactly how those incentives are brought about, how they're calculated. The incentives really have been funded through kind of a public purpose charge that that goes through, you know, the bills that we pay through our utility organizations. And some of that funding basically goes to Energy Trust of Oregon, to where they can then disperse that into incentives for the customers and the consumers. So that way we can get a discount in terms of why we're making these energy efficient upgrades. But that's basically where it comes from. And then I'll send you some more information in terms of how those are calculated.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Any other questions for Carlos before we move along? Okay. Awesome. Thanks so much, Carlos. Super important information. And Carlos put the email in the chat, so feel free to reach out with any additional questions. And again, I will, just for those of you who hopped on a little later, I will definitely send out all of this information afterwards. So if you haven't had a chance to furiously take notes, don't worry about it. I'll make sure you get that. It might just take me a day or so to compile. So just know that will be coming to you. Thanks again, Carlos. Okay, and last but not least, Rebecca Enriquez from Northwest Natural. Rebecca, are you on?
I don't know if, let's see.
Yes. There we are.
Yes,
So, okay, yes, you actually were taking over for Rebecca, correct?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay,
Yes.
my apologies.
Oh, not a problem. Happy to be here and thank you for including us.
Thank you.
I'm also going to share my screen. Go. Yes. Okay. So Northwest Natural, let's see, Cecilia Tanaka, I use she, her pronouns. I'm really happy to be here today to share information about Northwest Natural's Build Discount Program. The Northwest Natural's Build Discount Program actually had the benefit of launching about 8 months after Pacific Power and PGEs. And so part of that was the benefit being that we were able to model several design elements with the Northwest Natural Build Discount Program to help streamline enrollment. So just wanted to flag that. Similarly to Pacific Power and PGEs, Northwest Natural has a tiered discount program for between 15 to 40% off of monthly bills. Similar income threshold for 60, it's at the 60% of the state median income, which is roughly $60,000 for a family of 4. And this deck that I'm sharing is essentially the toolkit that we created for our community partners to really help get the word out. And so our community partners were really pivotal in getting the word out about these programs. And so information was incorporated into weekly check-in calls with homebound seniors, sent home to families who qualified for free and reduced lunches. We were out in the community via text messages. And so really depending on all of those great communication channels from our partners. This similar to PGE and PAC, several design elements again were incorporated to streamline enrollment, including day 1 of the program, which launched November 1st of 2022. Any customer who had been enrolled in energy assistance or energy efficiency programs were automatically enrolled in the bill discount program. And then subsequent to that, the actual application is very simple. It's all self-attestation. We do not require any pay stubs. It is having your account information, your estimated household income, and the number of people living in your household. And in terms of enrollments, the program enrollments last for 2 years. And then we do ask for folks to re-enroll at the end of 2 years. And there will be several notifications in advance of that to make sure that nobody is unintentionally unenrolled from the program. This is a snapshot of just an example of what the bill discount program, kind of the impact would be on an average annual natural gas bill of $760. So these are the 4 tiers. And then this is the discount between 15 and 40% off. And then in the far right column would be the total annual bill after the discount. Again, we created we had a very robust and continue to have a very robust outreach and communications effort. We actually dedicated our first community equity advisory group meeting, which launched last September. That half-day meeting was entirely focused on outreach for the bill discount program. And so that benefited from being able to incorporate that specific feedback from our partners into our outreach plan. So including QR codes, text capacity, different phone numbers, hashtags, et cetera. And so we were really able to, again, incorporate that guidance and feedback from our community partners into our outreach plan. This is what our brochure looks like. And again, if anybody needs any hard copies of our brochure, please reach out, and I will put my contact information in the chat. But our bill discount brochures, they're accordion, and so it's a single document. And one of the pieces of feedback that we received from our community equity advisory group was the importance of readability and accessibility. And so all of our content went through several rounds of plain language review to ensure that the content was readable at a 6th to 8th grade reading level. Our outreach materials also include contact information for the bill discount programs at PGE and PAC. To again, make sure that we are reaching as many folks as possible. These are just a couple of examples of our outreach, in addition to really leveraging the capacity of our nonprofit partners and school districts. We are also have content on radio spots, PSAs, digital ads, and are now engaging in more targeted outreach through based on our findings from our recent low-income needs assessment. And this next slide is an example of just some examples of our partner outreach. So, yes.
Perfect. Awesome.
Great.
Thank you so much, Cecilia.
Yeah.
Any questions? And I think, Cecilia, if you can put the contacts in the chat, that would be amazing. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the programs are similar, but it is helpful, I think, to have each program share just to give the specific details. Awesome. The toolkit is there for Northwest Natural and Cecilia's email. Perfect. Wonderful. Great. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you sharing the information. Any other questions? We did not hear from Oregon Shines, which is a solar utility that is they're at a lot of our fairs. Many of you may have connected with Don Evans, but that's also another utility assistance alternative program that has a low income option dependent upon income range. So that's something to look for if you're at a fair and want to just connect with Don. I'm sure that Don would be open to doing that. So any other questions from anyone that may have bubbled up during the presentations that you didn't have time to ask? Okay. All right. Well, I know that was a lot of information coming at you all. But super important and super helpful. And I know many of you work directly with community. And I think any opportunity we can find to try and provide assistance in areas of discounts, that's huge. So appreciate you being on today. And as always, I will share this information afterwards. If anyone has any other information to share outside of the utility discount program information, if you have events coming up. I know, Fern, you had something, I think, that was happening today. I don't know if you're still on. Oh, okay. Or if you have fairs coming up that you want to share about. Now is your opportunity. Thank you, Charity, for putting that in there. Okay. All right. Well, I know as far as the CSN goes, we do have our fair starting back up in August. I know that our Rosewood Fair in September is full. I think our fairs in the 2 or 3 in August we're hosting. You can check on our website and see who's signed up. So if you need to see if one of your coworkers signed up and you're not sure, you can always check that on our website. That's a new feature. And then we also will start rolling out all of the fairs for the fall and spring on the website as well. For Rosewood, we have not kept a wait list to date, but that is something that we are discussing. So I will circle back with you, Natalie, if we do keep a wait list for that event. We've had quite a few people connecting with us for that one. So I will connect with you if we do have an opening. Awesome. Okay. And then also we do have our DEIJ, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, Justice, and Resilience training starting back up in September. So that will come out shortly. We have our weekly resource emails. If you do not receive those, send me a message. I'll put my email in the chat. I know some of you received this link from bosses or colleagues. And so if you'd like to receive this link directly, feel free to email me and we'll get you signed up. Otherwise, looks like grand opening, Rosewood Family Health Center is having their grand opening tomorrow. June, what time is that and where could they find information? 1 to 5. Great. Okay. Awesome. That's exciting. Okay. Let's see. I think there was another. We have a block party. Check it out. Lentz Neighborhood Livability Association is having a block party. Is that this week? Sure. Maybe jumped off. Well, if you're interested, you can check out the Lentz Neighborhood Livability calendar and it should be on there. Anything else to share? Okay. Awesome. Well, have a great Tuesday. Great to see all of you. Thank you again to all of our presenters. You did an amazing job. Super appreciate the information you shared, and I will follow up with all the resources. Have a great day. Thanks for being here.